Okay, in case that got cut off, all we did is we just finished up placing our screw holes on both sides of the train. Okay, so that the wheels can actually attach in the axle part. And what I want to do now is basically go ahead and finish this off by putting in the hole for the smokestack. So what I want to do is I want to create a plane tangent to this surface so I can end up drilling down through here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to open up my origin. I'm going to find my plane that runs from the front to the back. Okay, so it's my XZ plane, and what I want to do is click once. So I'm going to come up here, click plane tool, click once on my XZ, and then on the top of that stack or the barrel. You can see that that's tangent to that. From there, now I have a nice plane to work off of, so I'm going to create a 2D sketch. And if I have this section, if that kind of bothers me, I can hit F7 and cut that in half. Okay, but I should end up having that perfect. Okay, it shouldn't be showing me. I think it's just how the computer runs it. But what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to project my geometry. Okay, so up there basically so I have a reference point of where this front edge is and kind of the sides of that barrel. Okay, and all I want to do is center that. So I'm going to take a point, and since we have a hole, I'm going to go here, and it should be centered, but I should be able to go, if that's the distance from there, here, actually it's probably easier if I just go like this. Delete this line, project the geometry of the outside, because I know the overall width is 2 inches, so I'm going to go from the edge here, and that should be 1 inch. Okay, so I got that. From the front to the back, you can pull it off of this dimension here, so it's saying from this front edge back to the center of the circle, or to the center of the hole, is 0.875. So 0.875, go there. I'm going to finish my 2D sketch, and again I'm going to use the hole. Okay, and it tells me it's a diameter of 1/2 inch and a depth of 0.25. So it's a diameter of 1/2 inch and a depth of 0.25. Right? Yep. Okay. So I'm going to hit OK. Now I have that set, and a lot of people want to end up actually deleting this work plane, but since we have things based off of it, all I'm going to do is right click over here on my browser menu, right click and turn off my visibility. Okay, so uncheck that, and now I have that all set. Okay, the last step that I want to do is this following note. It says all holes there. Okay, round all the edges over to 1/10 of an inch. So I'm going to use my fillet, and what I'm going to do is, a lot of people want to select this line. It doesn't necessarily look the best, so I'm going to type that in right there, 0.1 inch radius, because see what ends up happening then is they end up doing this, and it kind of gets that funky shape right there, and it actually brings out that barrel further. So if you see, once I do that, click this edge, these edges right here, but not the inside edge, because there's no way that we'd actually be able to get a bit in real life along there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, select these edges, give it a nice round over so the kids don't hurt themselves when they're playing with it. Spin over to the back side, select this edge, that edge, this, here, here, back. Don't select these holes, okay, because you want to keep those crisp for when it comes time to insert. And missed that back one. Then I can go ahead and hit apply, and now I have a nice child-safe train body. Okay, and from here, then what I can do is go into and change the properties. So again, doing this, actually what it does is it just changes the colors. So I actually want to change the properties, and if I go back up to my menu here, it says it's supposed to be ABS plastic, so I'm going to right click over here on part 2. Yours will probably say part 1 or whatever. Go over to physical, and the generic, scroll all the way up, ABS plastic, and hit apply. Close that. Okay, it kind of turns kind of a whitish color, and from there I can then go and change the color. Okay, so I've actually adjusted the actual material that it's made out of instead of just the default, and now what I'm doing is basically spray painting. Okay, so I'm spray painting it to look like, I'll say bronze. I don't know. Okay, so you can go and do that, change it to whatever color you want. Once you have that set, you could have a glass. There you go. Once you have that all set, then what you can do is, that's ugly. Save it and then move on to the next concrete one. The next part.